It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Wow. It damn sure is draft day. This is Minnesota's 92 KQRS. I don't know what I'm more excited by, the draft day jingle or the Rolling Stones doing disco. It's a dead heat right now.
Wow,
one
really?
or the other.
That's a draft day jingle for sure.
Only one day a year do we get to get all excited about watching a bunch of teams make a lot of mistakes.
I don't know that I'll even care for an entire 24 hours. I just am real stoked today.
Yeah, it's always a special day. It's so great. And by the way, if you're on your way to Green Bay right now, why? Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Headlines, Paul. What else is happening in the world?
You can U-turn anywhere.
Anywhere. They got ramps all over the highways.
Ground has been broken on a new $750 million sports and entertainment district in the heart of Blaine. Next to the next to the National Sports Center, they've got 60 acres. The city began acquiring aging properties in the area a decade ago, so they've been thinking about this long term. The goal being transforming it into a hub for entertainment, dining, and tourism. The city sold the land to private developers who are now constructing this massive project, which includes upscale restaurants, hotels, apartment complexes, walking paths, and an event stadium that could host concerts and potentially a minor league baseball team.
Go Blaine.
Yeah.
Right?
Holy crap.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
As somebody who doesn't want to go anywhere unless there's good parking, nice work, Blaine.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, they've got a pretty great soccer complex. They've got a, what's it called? Those dromes where you ride the bicycles and they
Velodrome?
They've got one of those. They've got 8 rinks. It's, and now they're going to add to it all.
Bring on the brew pubs.
President Donald Trump expressed that he was willing to substantially reduce tariffs on Chinese goods earlier this week, signaling a shift following recent tension and reciprocal tariff increases between the world's two biggest economies. While discussions remain open, an unnamed White House official shared tariffs on Chinese goods are likely to come down to between 50 and 65%.
All right.
Billy Idol has revealed the latest single from his forthcoming album, Dream Into It, which will be released tomorrow. He's teamed up with, it's not that odd. He's teamed up with Avril Lavigne on the song 77.
Okay.
It falls more under her domain of like the pop punk sound. But
right.
I mean, I've always kind of thought of Avril Lavigne as the younger female version of Billy Idol in a way.
I could see him as an aging skater boy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. We touched on this late yesterday. Wanted to go back to it one more time. The hotel that inspired the horror classic The Shining is making major upgrades. The new owners of the Stanley Hotel in Colorado are tapping into municipal funds, which we discussed might be green funds, to use nearly $300 million, adding more rooms, an event center, and a horror museum curated by Blumhouse. The goal is to take advantage of the Sundance Film Festival, relocating near Boulder, nearby Boulder in 2027. They're really trying to. There was kind of already maybe a nostalgic destination, but it sounds like they're really trying to, cement it as a
capitalize on that. Yeah.
Just go get baked on some Colorado green and walk around that place and get freaked out, man.
Yeah.
That's a plan.
That'd be a lot of fun.
You talked me out of it right there.
No,
I don't need the paranoid walk through the Shining Hotel.
If you want to raw dog it, go for it, girl. I mean, bring that jug of water and have a good day.
Probably be plenty creepy just even being sober through that thing.
I would imagine so.
There you go.
All right, let's talk about some sports. As we already alluded to, the NFL draft going off tonight. The Vikings, 4 picks. The first pick they have right now is at number 24. Yeah. And again, no ginormous gaping hole need.
Right.
A lot of people, as I've looked around and looked at this, Malachi Starks is the safety from Georgia that they imagine will still be available. Not a lot of safeties go in the first round. Yeah. And he is a guy who's played safety, nickel, and corner. He kind of does it all. And with Harrison Smith, clearly,
I was just gonna say, he's
on the back end of his run, this is a Harrison Smith type player who can do a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him if he's still available. The Vikings expect him to be. The Minnesota Wild are playing hockey tonight in St. Paul.
Before 9 o'clock.
It's April. It's the last week of April, and they're playing hockey. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Game 3 against the Golden Knights tonight. Who's on the show? Kevin Gorg's on the show later today to discuss the very thing we're talking about right now, which is playoff hockey.
Yes, he's an outstanding dude. Really knows the game, and he's a ton of fun. You're gonna love chatting with him.
That's great. The Timberwolves, because basketball's a much harder sport, have another day off. The Golden State Warriors, go ahead and say bye-bye. They're done. It's over. Jimmy Butler went down hard last night. He was brought in late in the season. He shored up that team. I don't think they were a title threat, but they were a deep playoff run threat. If Jimmy Butler is out, he suffered a pelvis contusion in a hard fall, went in for an MRI. So anyway, enjoy the last few games of Steph Curry's final playoff run where you still think there may be a chance.
Okay.
That day has come, and that day is now gone.
I'm still hung up on pelvis contusion. That sent a shiver through my entire body.
Good name for a band. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. The Twins beat the White Sox again.
All right. Hey!
Let's do it. Byron Buxton Tuesday won the game with a diving catch in the ninth, and last night, after starting the game 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the seventh, hit a Cam Boozer pitch 414 feet to left field, and that was the end of the ball game. A couple days in a row where Byron Buxton has looked at the White Sox and said, man, you guys suck.
I have a question.
Well done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Chicago White Sox, are they Division 1 or Division 3?
Oh, come on now.
Oh, sorry.
They won it all in 2005, which is 20 years ago.
But that's, like 14 years after the Twins last won it, so there's that.
The city of Minneapolis, near and dear to our hearts. You're on our mind. Come on, Minneapolis. We're giving you a little bit of love.
Minneapolis hockey. Let's go, baby.
We're in you, Minneapolis. We're in you.
Sorry?
April, the month we are almost to the end of. I don't know if you're aware of this, but this whole month is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And I've got a bone to pick with a young lady I saw 2 days ago on 35W wolfing down a plate of tacos in the passing lane.
No, you did not.
It's time to come clean.
It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. As I mentioned a moment ago, April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, not National Distracted Driving Month. You have to put the word awareness in there. It's important. I'm not trying to tell you this is the month to be distracted while driving. It's Awareness Month. And I was very aware 2 days ago, it was 3 days ago, Monday.
Okay.
I'm driving back from North Oaks. Went up to the old Gorman Center, a little dentistry trip. I'm driving back. I'm on 35W, and I am approaching. I'm in the center lane, and there's a car in the left lane, the passing lane, that's going nowhere near as fast as she should be driving. As it turns out, it's a young lady. And as I go by her, I can't help but look over. What are you doing in the left lane going 51 miles an hour?
Sure.
Not eating, wolfing down what looked to be a plate of tacos. They look, I think corn tortillas look like an actual Mexican style, maybe from a taco truck.
Like a soft shell or
soft styrofoam plate with the foil peeled back. 3 or 4, what looked to me in the few seconds I took a look, holding it with her left hand, steering wheels operated with the right knee or with the left knee, and then the right hand is just right up there. I mean, she's got the plate up to her face and she's just shoveling. And I'm like, wow. I wanted to honk, but it would have caused a crash.
Yeah.
If you're
Then it made me want to honk more because, boy, it pissed me off.
If you're that, oh my God, I see red when I see stuff like that. My face turns red and I want to just lose it. But if you're going to eat that quickly, if you're shoveling it down your gullet, why not just pull over and shovel it down quick and then get back to driving?
I mean, if I had a dash cam, I might have thought about, the honk. I might have gotten. I might have run her off the road. So it's a good thing I don't have a dash cam because then I would have uploaded it to one of those Instagram reels. It's just car crashes,
and then I would totally be talking about it now.
We would be. Remember that time Steve caused that poor girl to crash her car into the median because she was wolfing down tacos.
And
tacos
turned out to be a 15-car pileup, and he's in jail now. And
look, but I don't like to throw. What is it? Throw a stone at a glass house. I've been distracted driving countless times, no question about it. But not in the left lane. That's really at the end of the day, it's the left lane that pissed me off. If I'm being honest, get out of the left.
This is I look at this the same as I look at like murder versus manslaughter, right? You've maybe been distracted, but I'm guessing it wasn't premeditated. It was something that just happened.
Oh no! It's been I've been terrible.
Have you brought a 4-course dinner, steak and mashed potatoes into the car?
I have eaten soup with a spoon out of a bowl while driving a car. That's a true story.
But you were, of course, in the right lane, which is the eating lane.
That makes it. That's the eating lane. Yeah.
I don't mean like a bowl from home. I mean a to-go container soup. But it was not a brothy soup. It was a thicker. It was like a potato leek type soup. In my defense, Your Honor.
I feel like the rule with eating in the car is you have to be able to do it with one hand. So if you had the soup, maybe like between your legs and are scooping, and still have one hand on the wheel.
Well, what I had, it was the left hand holding the bowl, right hand on the wheel, spoon in the bowl, and then the very quick scoop. But this has been a while. This is not recently.
You need to practice your distracted driving, man. Because I don't think that's how you do it.
I do remember at one point thinking to myself, I'm eating soup while driving. It's probably not a great idea.
No. Yeah, that's not ideal. We want you around. Don't do that anymore,
But let me tell you
please.
something. Let me tell you something. You get a couple bites of potato leek down, you're not stopping. If it's done right. Oh, come on. I can eat soup 247, 365.
A couple weeks ago, I had a guy in front of me, not in the left lane. I'll give him that, but a little rambunctious in the lane he was in, and I finally got it around him, went to the left lane, and passed him in full blown shaving. I like the whole shaving / putting on makeup.
Yeah.
That I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Shaving like buzzing with a razor, or did he have the cream and stuff?
No.
Like an electric shaver?
There was a guy in the passenger seat who was buttering him up. No, it was just the electric thing that gathers the whiskers and all that. Yeah.
The thing Santa used to drive in every year.
Still just dumbfounded. Had the mirror down and everything. Just unbelievable.
The National Traffic Safety Board folks put out a map of the most distracted driving hotspots, and it's most of the Southwest, which of course. It's fine. There's no curves, there's no hills, and there's no one on the roads.
No, and there's no weather.
Busting across New Mexico, you're just begging to see another car every 40 minutes. So go ahead, get some soup, get some tacos, but bring it to New Mexico.
I think it's pretty phenomenal that that they're getting this out here for April when it's the 24th.
Well, look, I just came across this.
I'm not talking about you. It just came out. That's what I'm saying. Is it's just been released? Where were you on March 24th? Holy smokes!
Listen, all I'm saying is keep it out west, folks, and keep it in the right lane. That's really the ultimate. The ultimate thing about all this is it's just my way of saying I can't stand it when you're cruising in the left lane.
Stay in the eating lane, as Ryder would say.
As far as I knew, I should say, until recently, I've never been abducted by aliens. But apparently, after reading the 5 signs that I've been abducted by aliens, I have to rethink everything.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
KQRS.
Oh, hi.
Hey, man, ever been abducted by aliens?
Not that I know of.
That's a good answer. Have you ever seen what you think might be alien spacecraft? Ever seen, for lack of a better term, a UFO?
You know what sucks is I've seen all the social media stuff. Some of it nonsense, some of it believable.
Yeah.
Never with my own eyes that I know of.
Ryder?
I would love to.
No, they just don't want to show themselves to me.
They don't want to show themselves.
I'm kind of bummed out.
You know why, Ryder? It's because we want it. That's why.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I would totally accept that.
So aliens are like cats, is what you're saying? They know.
Yeah.
They know when you want them, and they avoid you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to start playing hard to get, pretend like I don't care.
I was with a group one time of people who, shortly after I left, all swore they saw something that came down, bright lights spinning and all that, and I had just missed it. And these were not people who would normally make up stuff, and their stories were remarkably consistent. They definitely saw something.
Yeah.
And I had just left the scene. I will admit to all having ingested mushrooms at the time. and I don't mean like porticellos. I mean, we were shrooming. We were tripping balls. But they were all very sincere, and the next day their stories still lined up. So something happened, and I was thankfully unaware. There's a gentleman in the United Kingdom named Philip Kinsella.
Yeah.
Philip Kinsella says he's been abducted several times. And in fact, in 1989, he was abducted by what he called reptilian aliens. And he and a bunch of other people that had claimed to be abducted have come together and let us know what it feels like. So maybe you have been abducted and just didn't know it. If you have anything you want to add to this conversation via text or call, 651-989-ROCK. 651-989-ROCK. Please, for the love of God, if you've been abducted, by all means, call in.
The North Metro is heavy in UFO sightings.
That stands to reason.
Less light pollution.
So this guy, back to Philip Kinsella, he said he was first abducted in 89 by reptilian-looking aliens. He said they look like small dinosaurs. They beamed him up, naturally.
Yeah.
He was stripped naked, and of course he was probed. And he has, I said, he's part of a support group. He's gotten a lot of people together to talk about their abduction stories.
If you haven't been probed, have you really ever been abducted?
There are, by aliens or
just in general?
So he says there's 5 things. There's 5 things that
All right.
people who've been abducted share, okay?
Let's do it.
Bumps under your skin. He said the aliens often leave little implants under your skin, and you can see them on x-rays, and they look like tiny little grains of rice. And I, of course, but I'm sorry, bud, those are pinworms, okay? or if you prefer threadworms. That's probably what that is. You probably got a little itch down there.
Maybe get a shot
ignoring.
for that. Maybe get a shot for that, yeah.
Or just a horse pill. My experience was the biggest pill I ever swallowed, but boy, it took care of it. Boom, out they
there
go.
you go.
That was a beautiful thing.
Haven't had bumps under my skin. Ryder, you?
No, goosebumps is the first thing that comes to mind. But if I'm looking for like a tiny little nodule or something like that, no.
Yeah, that sucks.
Another
one.
Another telltale sign, another sure sign, nosebleeds. Random, regular nosebleeds for several years after after you would have then been abducted and probed. You got a pretty excited look on your face. Is it the pinworms or the nosebleeds?
I got tons of nosebleeds as a kid. My mom can attest to this.
Okay.
So I'm 1 for 2 here.
All right, a lot of nosebleeds. Was there ever a consensus on why you were having all these nosebleeds?
Not that I know of. Just they happen very frequently, and I don't even remember the age range, but it happened a bunch.
Tissue up the nostril and lay your head back and wait for it to end?
Inexplicable nosebleeds on a regular basis.
Did anybody bother to get you a humidifier?
Yeah, mom was a nurse.
Okay.
Like, I was very well taken care of for sure,
right.
but there were just a lot of unexplained nosebleeds.
Okay, well then I'm going to rule out cocaine abuse because you were a kid and your mom was a nurse.
Yeah, she wouldn't allow that.
When I see somebody who's like, I just keep getting all these nosebleeds, I'm like, yeah, what are you putting up there, bud? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you know who's cutting that stuff?
We
I don't
reap
think
what
you
we
do.
sow. Yeah, we reap what we sow.
How about this? Strange flashbacks. You might start remembering bits of pieces of memories that your brain blocked out.
During the period of the nosebleeds, I did have a lot of really cool, like, recurring Christy Brinkley dreams, but I don't know if that counts.
Do you ever have a moment where you feel like you're on the scrambler ride at a fair? You know, where you're walking down the street and suddenly it's like, wow, for like 3 or 4 seconds?
Like the one that spins you around, but they don't strap you in?
Yeah, you're in the thing and it just, or any ride that's throwing you in a bunch of directions really quickly.
I haven't had that happen.
Maybe the tilt-a-whirl even. That's just me?
No.
Okay, that is what sometimes I think, like, I wonder if that's like a good old-fashioned 70s movie flashback.
Ooh.
You never know. 651-989-ROCKS. We're discussing alien abductions, the 5 signs you may have been abducted and didn't know it.
What do we have so far?
Well, we've got bumps under your skin.
Okay.
Nope. This is a list compiled from people who claim to have been abducted. Mm-hmm. Little things that will show up on x-rays. They could be as small as a grain of rice.
Okay.
Survey says those are worms. Get a pill.
Yeah.
Number 2 is nosebleeds. Random nosebleeds for years after being abducted and probed.
For 2?
That's number 2.
1 for 2.
Let's see. My daughter had some nosebleeds as a child too. Now that I think about it, as far as I know, it's been a minute. But let's not kid ourselves. She's a weird one. I mean, who knows what was going on there? Number 3, strange flashbacks. No. You might start remembering bits and pieces of memories that your brain blocked out. Oh my God, to have my brain block out a memory. It would be a blessing.
Yes.
I really wish I could stop remembering stuff.
I thought that was just a case of beer.
No, I wish. That doesn't even work. So number 4 is missing time. Like, let's say you go out for a 20-minute walk and then you find out it was actually hours that you were gone. There is a gentleman who says he's been abducted 60 times.
Oh.
And since the 1980s, and he misses time regularly.
They like something about that guy.
They certainly do. Can you imagine? I mean, you got to feel kind of cool of all the humans, of all the people on the planet.
Yeah.
60 times?
You're the one representing us in the universe.
You're packing some human heat is what you're doing. And then finally, number 5 is psychic powers. This guy, the one gentleman, Philip Kinsella, who was originally abducted in '89 by reptilian-shaped aliens, he says they took him up. His mind was somehow opened and it left him with supernatural abilities. Oh, did I mention he now makes a living as a psychic medium?
Oh.
Yeah, that's called PT Barnemia, where you recognize that a sucker's born every minute and just print money. As a snake oil salesman. That's what that's called. So the aliens at least have that going for them. They can turn you into
Crafty
a con
people.
artist.
I wish. So many reasons here. So many positives. You get to miss blocks of time. You get psychic powers. I'm not so sure about the probing, but outside of that, I'm in. Like, let's do this.
All right. I heard it. Sounds like a promotion to me.
Yeah, right?
I bet there's some place we could take you out way up in the woods and just put up a Steadicam, a GoPro, tape it to a tree.
Yeah.
Attach a bunch of spam to me.
Just give you some matches and a blanket and just wait. That'd be great.
I think it's more likely of finding a freaking cougar than not a cougar you'd find at the bar. I mean, a cougar you'd find out in the wild. I think that's more likely I get eaten by a cougar than get taken by aliens.
Now a cougar in the Minnesota woods.
Oh, I thought you were talking like maybe go to Colorado or something.
No, just up north from here.
Okay, yeah. Well, then it's going to be a wolf then, probably.
No, just go up to Blaine where they're building all that cool new stuff. Let's see what happens.
The aliens aren't coming to that. It's not built yet.
Well, that's why they're coming there. It's still just a hole in the ground. We got headlines to get into because, we're feeling Minnesota around here.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
A lot of things going on in the world today and even tonight. But right now, what are our headlines, Paul Fletcher?
Hey, tune up for the invisible axe and stretch out your windmilling arm. The Minneapolis Regional Air Guitar Championships are back.
All right.
Going to be at Route 47 Pub and Grub in Fridley on May 17th.
Oh, my God.
Quote, air guitar is freaking ridiculous, nerdy, silly, and all of the above, says Hall of Fame air guitarist, the Lost Heartbreaker. He said that's the beauty of it. We need these moments in this crazy adventure of life.
Never was a big air guitar guy, but as a kid, I was a tennis racket guitar guy. I would put on the record in the basement, crank it up, and grab a tennis racket, an old Pancho Gonzalez wooden racket, and just go to town, man.
I wonder if props are allowed in the air guitar
I don't think so. I doubt it.
No?
It's an air guitar, yeah.
Right.
I took it so seriously, I had a double neck. I literally connected 2 tennis rackets to give me the double neck effect.
You remember Lincoln Logs?
Very clearly.
Put stuff in? I had Lincoln Log drumsticks. That was my bit. And an upside-down Schwann's ice cream bucket. That was my drum set.
Probably sounded pretty good.
Maybe not so much.
Okay.
There's a reason I'm talking about it and not doing it.
Got it.
The Food and Drug Administration is halting its quality control program for milk and dairy products.
Gosh, what could go wrong?
The FDA, it's exactly what I said to Ryder earlier. The FDA says the Food Emergency Response Network Proficiency Testing Program, don't try that one at home, will eventually continue in another lab. But in the meantime, the agency will work with the states to protect the milk supply. The move comes after 20,000 jobs were cut across the Department of Health and Human Services. Like you said, what could go wrong?
Okay, fair enough.
This is interesting.
Yep.
Weezer says they're making a new rockumentary style movie about their band. A solid cast has started to come together and been revealed. Rivers Cuomo confirmed Jack Black will star. Apparently, Keanu Reeves is going to be in it as the film's villain. Juliette Lewis, Johnny Knoxville, and a bunch of others, and as well as the 4 guys in Weezer.
I'm watching this.
I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll watch it. 100%.
Where did they line up the financing for that cast? That's all I can think about. Jack Black don't show up cheap.
No, they've been touring on just playing the Blue album over and over again, the last couple of years, because it was a big anniversary in 2024. So
I don't know much about Weezer. I know a few songs, but I never dove into the albums. You're telling me that
Dude from the Cars produced the Blue album.
Dude from the Cars?
Rick Ocasek.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. I don't go super deep on them, but I've seen them a couple times live, like sort of as ancillary benefits to the show I was going to see, and they're actually really good live, man.
I was at a drum thing, like a drum show. I don't know.
DrumCon.
Some place where a bunch of drummers were hanging out.
People are trying to sell you drums?
DrumCon.
No, where drummers are showing up and saying, I play this stuff because I'm cool. Okay. But I was the drummer for Weezer, and I spent an hour together at a thing. And he's one of the, I don't even know his name, but he was one of the funniest guys I ever hung out with. And for over 20 years, I've been like, I got to track that guy down. We had a blast. Anyway, hey, drummer and Weezer, I hope the movie's good.
Yeah, me too. I'm super interested. A24, speaking of films, A24 has officially announced an Anthony Bourdain biopic titled Tony. Holdover's breakout star, Dominic Sessa, will play the late great chef turned food tourism TV star. Matt Johnson, who did that awesome Blackberry flick, is going to be directing. No release date yet, but another one I'm on board for.
The Blackberry movie was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know who Dominic Sessa is, but that is a movie I will take a look at for sure. I remember reading Anthony Bourdain's book, before he was a
Kitchen
TV guy.
Confidential, yeah.
Incredible. Just mind-boggling.
Did they turn that into a TV show? Pretty sure they did. Like, I feel like Bradley Cooper or something like that was in it.
Could have been. Don't know.
Pretty
Missed
sure.
it.
Well, nonetheless, no release date, but Bourdain biopic coming, and that's a good thing.
All right, very good. Sports, what do we got tonight over in St. Paul? Oh, that's right, playoff hockey.
Okay.
Golden Knights in town. It is game 3 of the first round series. You going tonight? You going to be there?
Still a coin flip.
Man, come on now. Get over there.
Are you going?
No, of course not.
Okay, well then ease up on the pressure, pal.
You're Joe Hockey.
I know. Well, I'm actually Paul Hockey, but yeah, close.
Kevin Gorg will be with us in the next hour, I believe. Is that 8:30-ish, something like that?
8:30-ish.
We'll be discussing that game with Kevin Gorg. The draft, the NFL draft, I should say, is tonight. Oh, with the 24th pick, the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of people thinking they're going to go defense. Malachi Starks from Georgia, a safety. Safeties do not go in the first round these days anymore, but this kid's pretty special.
Wow.
You're looking at the end of the Harrison Smith era soon enough. And Malachi is the kind of kid, Malachi Starks from Georgia, the kind of kid people say very much like him, the kind of player that Brian Flores looks at and says, oh, yeah, let's go.
AMA Friday with Sam Ekstrom tomorrow. So
nice.
So anything you want to ask Sam about the draft or whatever, bring it on.
Okay, well, we need some juicy stuff to happen tonight, so we got good stuff to talk about tomorrow.
My AFC side piece, Tennessee Titans, will have the first pick in the draft, and all I can say about that is this. Everyone in Titans Nation is terrified.
I love how you just referred to them as your side piece.
Hey, there was a time.
Are they terrified?
It was not Camelot.
Are they terrified of Shedeur Sanders or
no? It'll be Cam Ward, but it's just he's going to the Titans, so it won't pan out.
Yeah.
It's just what happens.
It's a guarantee.
No, they're not going to have a good run ever. It's just not meant to be. Speaking of not meant to be, the Golden State Warriors lost Jimmy Butler in a hard fall last night. The Warriors were showing signs of life and looking like, hey, they might even make it to the Western Conference Finals. I don't think anybody saw them as a finalist, but that's done because Jimmy Butler went down hard and he had an MRI scheduled. He has one scheduled for today, and without him, that's it. Steph Curry, it's been awesome, man. And for as long as you play, I'm going to enjoy all you've done, but that whole chasing that final ring, that's gone. The Twins beat the White Sox again last night. For the second straight night. You can thank Byron Buxton last night, not with the glove, but with the bat. A giant home run in the bottom of the 7th. Very, very nicely done. As long as we got the White Sox in town, we're a good baseball team. Stacy, Minnesota.
Oh, good spot.
Good to have you with us this morning, Stacy. You guys know what to do about Stacy.
Pretty sure there's some solid cabins in Stacy, Minnesota. That's a cabin country right there.
I would not doubt that at all. So, I'm a kind of guy, when the new hot item hits the market, I wait for a few generations. I didn't get the first iPhone. As much as the first time I ever saw a commercial for an iPhone, I was like, oh my God, look at that. And then I thought, yeah, I'll get one in a couple years. Let them work out all the bugs.
Mm-hmm. What was your first iPhone? Like iPhone 5 or iPhone 6? Do you remember?
No. I mean, whatever year they were introduced, I got one for Rosemary first. She got one at Christmas.
Oh, well, I like using Rosemary as the guinea pig.
Well, it's funny because she was the person who's like, that's ridiculous. Why? You don't need all that stuff on a phone. But I was like, oh, no, she'll love this. It was a surprise. I waited. It was probably a year and a half. I don't remember what it was. Okay. It might have been a 3 or a 4. It wasn't a 5.
Probably
but
a 2.
Anyway, when I finally got one, I really missed the old. I just had like an old Nokia, just a good old fashioned phone, and I don't know. Something about that phone. I still think about it sometimes because I like the sounds better. It had better sound effects.
Okay.
But anyway, that's just me.
BlackBerry Curve was elite as well. I loved the BlackBerry Curve.
BlackBerry people are serious about it. My Nokia had one of the ringtones was just a steady beeping, and I would activate that and walk backwards for a laugh. See what I would do there?
Yeah, like a truck.
And when I say laugh, I mean nobody laughed but me because it was so annoying, and I enjoyed being that guy. But anyway, all this to say, I've yet to see a Waymo, an automated taxi, a driverless Uber, if you will. Mm-hmm. But they've been around a little bit of a while. I have some friends in California that have been in them for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, they're trying to figure out how to get them up here. I mean, there's people in the Twin Cities looking for these. The problem we have here is winter.
Exactly.
Those bad boys
dicey.
are not built for snow and ice and potholes and all these things. So in warmer climates, it makes a little more sense to unveil these things. Austin, Texas has been inundated with Waymos. It's a big move there. That city, the state capital of Texas, has Waymos left, right, and center. And as you may expect, couple of kinks, couple of little, couple of pebbles in the shoes as it works out. A woman, of course, named Becky Levin Navarro had an issue in a Waymo, and she went straight to TikTok to share with the world what's going on with her autonomous ride.
We're in a Waymo. It was going the wrong way. We called customer support. It stopped us right here and wouldn't let us out of the car. And we kept saying, hey, we're on a highway, please. Cars kept honking at us, and it would not move. It would not let us out. No one from customer support would actually move the Waymo. So now we're walking on Mopac. This is insane, Waymo.
Breezy in Austin that day.
Yeah, a little breezy. She was told by customer service, I'm sorry, we just don't have a way to physically actually move the cars. They sat in a car for 5 minutes and 11 seconds on a highway, not on the side of the highway, on the highway.
Right.
Just the car just stopped. Here, sorry, and they couldn't get the car to unlock. They were sitting there. I mean, Waymo is, if I'm at Waymo right now, I'm thanking my lucky stars. I mean, the obvious downside of this could be chances, distracted driver month, as it is in April. Someone's eating a plate of tacos and they just slam into that bad boy.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's my thing is that she sounds so angry, frustrated. I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, you got into a Waymo. You have to be prepared for something insane to happen with such early technology.
Well, there is that, but if I walk down the street and I have a $100 bill sticking out of my back pocket and someone steals it, it's still on them. They're the thief.
Yeah,
Waymo screwed up.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the idea, she did say also, she several times said, you got to let us out, you got to let us out. And it was only when she threatened to go on social media, she said, I'm going to document this situation. And then boom, the door's unlocked.
The door's unlocked?
Imagine that. That's a bigger issue than, I mean, the technology, the actual driving part. I feel like you have to be a little forgiving because this is still new technology, but not letting them out of the car is unacceptable.
There's still the idea to me it's such a good idea. Just ran away from me. Just a complete brain fart right there. I had something. Man, it was great. Dude.
I bet it was going to be.
Of the three of us, I know I'm the only one who has ridden in a Waymo.
That's where I was going. You were in Arizona. That's right.
They were in Phoenix. It is kind of weird to be in there and not have anybody, behind the wheel and have the wheel just move by itself. I didn't have an incident. My husband and his boss did have an incident, and the Waymo people did take control of the car and move the car out of this parking lot. It was kind of like had a brain fart in.
Yeah.
So it can be done. I know she's freaking out, but if a Waymo pulled up right now and I needed a ride, I would still get in it.
That's good. Yeah.
My concern with the Waymos has been actually it's not the Waymo, but other driver. Like I say, either every car's automated or none, because the human / satellite guided vehicles, there's just too much. There's too much uncertainty. If every car on the road was on the same operating protocol, if it was all autonomous, I think there'd be less confusion. But the humans are going to mess this up.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
I think I know what happened to you a second ago.
What's that?
When you had that brain fart, you were abducted.
Could have been.
Maybe
could have been.
You just had a block out in time. Yeah, or it could have been a flashback. Yeah.
Or you know what we could also have done, say, I don't know, 80 years ago, is told the airlines back off. We want trains everywhere, and then this wouldn't be an issue.
Oh man, that'd be pretty slick.
I'm such a fan of trains.
Bullet train.
You and me both, man. High-speed trains.
Yeah.
Who needs drugs? Just get on a train and go where you want to go. That's what I always say.
It was pretty awesome in Italy this past September. That was an unbelievable experience.
That's a
bullet train.
Nice flex there, baby.
Thanks. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, but trains? No, cars? Yeah, we got cars. We got cars that drive themselves, and we also have a lot of history with some badass named cars.
Yeah.
Let's play a little game. We got a little something we call Rank You Very Much. Coolest car model names. Let's go there. How about that?
Rank you very much. Rank you very much. Rank you very much. Rank you very much. Very much. Rank you very much. Rank you very much.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota. Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Rank you very much. This week's ranking, coolest car model names.
Yeah.
Coolest car names ever.
All
The
right.
model name, not your nickname. I don't want to hear somebody say,
Jane.
"Oh, little Johnny Nichols." No, I don't care. No, it's not. I don't care that it's a 1955. It's coolest car model names.
Yep.
We're going to give you our number 3s, our number 2s. We're looking for cool names on the talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. I'm just going to get right to it. Ryder, let's talk coolest car model names ever. What have you got in number 3?
Going old school with this one, Ford Model T.
Wow.
Affectionately known
Okay.
as the Tin Lizzie.
The Tin Lizzie, the Model T. Okay. So,
Okay.
you think that's cool, huh?
I do, yeah. I'm a big fan of naming things that you don't feel stupid when you say them out loud, and nobody's felt dumb saying Model T.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean, one of the first cars ever made. They hadn't really run through the Rolodex of car names yet, and so I think it's kind of boring.
Oh, man. I was expecting a little more pizzazz, too, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's
you're didn't exactly kick the door in on the game, did you?
Tin Lizzie? Come on, that's
you're,
pretty good.
You're the house punk rocker. I was expecting something a little more. Although Tin Lizzie, there was a band called Tin Lizzies, wasn't there?
Oh, I'm sure.
I feel like it
that's
was like
Tin
a
Lizzie
female
ripoff,
metal
too.
band or something like that. I could be wrong. All right.
What do you guys got?
Fletch, what do you got? Number 3.
My number 3 is the I'll tell you what, Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth. They were feeling it in the muscle car era.
Yeah.
The Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird. There's nothing like naming your muscle car after a cartoon character.
Roadrunner Superbird.
Yeah, the big old honking
Yeah.
muscle car with a big old fin or a tail in the back, in the back of it.
Okay.
That thing was a beast.
When you did the horn, did it do the Roadrunner meep meep?
If it didn't, that's a missed opportunity.
There is a missed opportunity. My number 3, coolest car model name ever.
Lay it on me.
The Jensen Interceptor.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yes, that's a good solid name.
I mean, there's a problem with the Jensen Interceptor, and that is that it's a British car and made in the 60s and 70s, which means it was a lemon coming right off the line.
Yeah.
They you know what? I mean, a handful of things the Brits figured out, but making quality cars back in the day was not one of them.
No, not back in the day. They've gotten better.
But we're talking about the name alone, Jensen, and you got to say the brand name too, Jensen. But the Jensen Interceptor, when I was a kid, whenever it was, probably teens, I came across that name somewhere, and I was like, that's the coolest name for a car ever. But it's now number 3.
It does
coolest ever because I've had more life experience.
It does feel like when you step out of a car like that, you need to just very grandiosely close the door and just announce yourself to the world. Bond, James Bond. I'm not sure he drove one of those. I think he was an Aston Martin guy.
He
but
did
just
not.
saying, it feels like that.
Feels like a narc-mobile.
Oh,
Wow.
there you go. The Interceptor. I like that. The narc who's trying to act like he's James Bond. You know what? I think you're onto something there. All right, Ryder, number 2. Coolest car name ever.
Step it up.
Car that beat the Ferrari, the Ford GT40.
The Ford GT40.
Yeah.
She likes simplicity.
Yeah, I like that. Numbers and letters.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough.
That thing is a beast. It did beat the Ferrari. I like that one.
GT40. Fair enough. What do you got?
That was America announcing to the world, hey, we're here, and we can make cars that scoot. A car that started in Germany, but is really kind of become an American ride, although they haven't made this one in America since 1988. They should bring it back. The Volkswagen Scirocco.
Scirocco. I forgot all about the Scirocco.
That was a beast of a car, too. I mean, for a mid-budget car, that thing was awesome.
Really? The
Yeah.
Scirocco? Wow.
The Scirocco.
I forgot all about. How do you spell that? Is it like an
SCIRROCO?
Yeah. The Scirocco. All right, fair enough.
Awesome.
I'm going muscle car for number 2. And it's the Mercury. Not just the Cougar, but the Cougar Eliminator.
Oh!
When you needed extra Cougar, when you wanted it to go to 11. The Eliminator package, it just was more badass. And I'm not a car guy in terms of, I can't tell you what was under the hood. But again, I remember coming across this once and going, the Cougar Eliminator.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's like double your fun.
That's, you know what, a Cougar Eliminator. That's like an 1130 bar troll.
It's a badass looking ride. That's all I can tell you.
It's beefy for sure.
But, if you pull up to the bar in a Cougar Eliminator, you're not going to, no, it's a Cougar magnet. Trust me when I say that.
Oh, when I said 11:30 bar, I meant like that's when you're running into the Eliminator version of the Cougar in the bar.
I know what you're talking about. 651-989-ROCK.
It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
Paul.
Yeah?
What do you got?
Temple of the Dog. You know me being the resident Pearl Jam nerd. First time that Eddie Vedder actually sang with his Pearl Jam buddies, or soon-to-be Pearl Jam buddies. He was in town. He's in the band. They hadn't done anything yet. Chris Cornell said, hey, come sing on this track.
That is a fascinating tidbit. In the Gorman family, the response to that would have been fungus, as in that information's so old, it's covered in fungus. Not that everybody knows it. I'm just letting you know that's the world I was raised in.
I see.
Which explains the prickly outside over the nice nougaty warm inside.
Oh, see? I'm looking forward to getting into that.
Yeah. It's about a year in. It's about a year in.
Okay.
All right.
We're talking coolest car names ever. I got to go back. That is a good way to hit the ground running. You fly to a new town, you meet some guys in the band, they go, we're making a record for this guy you never met who's dead, and you walk in, you're Eddie Vedder, and you sing with Chris Cornell day one in town.
Oh, and by the way,
good start.
You come out and knock it out of the park with that vocal. This guy can sing.
We're talking coolest car names on Rank You Very Much. The KQ Talkin' text line is lighten up. Kevin sent in a few, and I'm going to read a few of these texts, and if I'm stepping on any toes for either of your number ones, sorry.
Okay. If we do, that's
the AMC better. Javelin. Yeah, the Javelin was a strong one.
I mean, unfortunately, it was an AMC, but outside of that, good name.
That's quite all right. Let's see what else we got. The Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400. That's a stretch. Caprice Classic, the Shelby Cobra. Of course, Cobra's I
like that.
That's going to get a charge. There's plenty of these, and a lot of Stingrays, which is, admittedly, as much as it is a great name for a car. I mean,
Stingray. Yeah.
When you hear Stingray, you immediately picture. For me, it's usually an early '70s model, but you just think of the Stingray, and it's badass. Let's get to our number one coolest car model names.
We should recap our 2s and 3s.
Ryder, you've thrown out the Model T.
Yes.
The Ford GT40.
Badass car.
What's your number one?
Number one, a car that I owned in high school and my boyfriend was super jealous. That would be the Ford Taurus SHO.
Oh, yes.
What year?
Super high output. I had a 94.
Wow.
It did have the V8.
All right.
Super high. It was the SHO, the Taurus show.
Super high output, yeah.
Wow.
The real ones do call it the show.
What color?
It was like hunter green or something like that. Nice. Nothing that would raise attention.
Yeah.
Which was beneficial.
But you were like an unmarked police car. You were just
absolutely.
Blasting around the metro.
Yeah. It was, sedan insurance prices with a race car engine.
Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yes.
I had an 89.
Strong.
I had an 89 Taurus SHO, silver, super unassuming. Still had the Yamaha engine in it at the time, and that thing was a beast.
Holy crap! All right,
5-speed on the floor, baby.
Number two, Fletch. What do you got?
My number 3 was Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird, and the Volkswagen Scirocco was number 2. My number 1, I'm not even a fan. As far as Italy goes with cars, I don't like them.
Doesn't matter.
But Ferrari Testarossa is just unmistakable. It's a no-brainer number 1.
I always thought it was crazy because he was fine in college, but not a great NFL quarterback. But to get a car named after him,
Vinny Testarossa.
I always thought that's just, man, he knew the right people. But obviously, it harkens back to his Italian heritage. All right, that's a strong one. It is true.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about cars I've had. I have at different times. I have owned 3 different Dodge Darts. That's not my number one name, but when you say greatest car name, the first thing that always comes to mind is Dodge Dart, just because, as I've said, I've owned 3 different Dodge Darts over the years.
Didn't you purposely crash one into a wall one time?
No, dumpsters. A series of dumpsters. You can hear me doing that on the Black Crowes' first album. That's not a sound effect. That's me ramming my Dodge Dart into the dark dumpster in a parking lot.
Did you ever have a Dart swinger?
They were all swingers.
Okay, my dad had
I'm sorry. The first 2 were. The third one was pre-swinger.
Dad had a Dart swinger as well.
Yeah. My number 1 coolest car, a product from Volkswagen. The Volkswagen Type 181 was its official name. It was sold in the 70s in the U.S. and Canada as the Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. I always loved the thing. It was just like a little military vehicle for the West German army, and it looked like the kind of car you could take across the base if you've got to get over to the commissary real quickly. And first thing, the commissar drives the thing.
Better hope that military-grade vehicle doesn't run over a firecracker, though, because you might be in trouble.
Yeah. Only known as the thing here.
Yeah.
Other countries, it was the Kurwagen, the Trekker, or the Safari. But the thing, known for its utilitarian nature, durability, and ease of repair. It was basically had a lawnmower engine in it. It was awesome. I love. When I was a kid, I was like, man, when I get my license, I'm getting a thing. And by the time I got my license, you couldn't find one anywhere. It was like a 7-leaf clover. Good luck.
Man.
Find one now, and you could probably set your family up for a while.
I would, if it's in good shape, I would imagine that would be the case. Hey, the 2025 Tee It Up Golf Cart number 3, presented by Club Champion, is on sale right now. Golf 7 area courses, and while you do that, you'll save over $200. Text the word golf to 651-989-ROCK. Headlines coming up.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
It is Thursday, April the 24th. A lot going on in the world today. Let's look at some headlines. We're feeling Minnesota, Paul.
Hey, check it out. We can stare to the sky for a rare occurrence. A rare celestial smiley face will be in our Minnesota sky tonight, tomorrow. Now, tonight looks like clouds and rain, but tomorrow should be clear. What is a celestial smile, you may ask? Venus and Saturn appear as two eyes over the thin crescent moon that looks like an upturned smile. Kind of cool to see that.
Man, I tell you what, back in the day when all people had at night was the stars and the moon and stuff, they came up with some amazing things.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Boy. You didn't even have a compass.
Yeah, that's wild, right? The president of America, Donald Trump, expressed that he was willing to substantially reduce tariffs on Chinese goods earlier this week, signaling a shift following recent tension and reciprocal tariff increases between the world's two biggest economies.
Yep.
While discussions remain open, an unnamed White House official shared tariffs on Chinese goods are likely to come down to between 50 and 65%.
I hear "We Are the World" in the background. Hooray!
Hey, HBO and Max has a Safdie Brothers produced documentary about Paul Rubens coming on May 23rd called Pee-wee as Himself. The documentary features over 40 hours of interview footage. I doubt they'll show all of it, with Rubens filmed before his passing in 2023, allowing him to open up about his personal and professional challenges. In the film, he comes out as gay and reveals why he was conflicted about sexuality. I watched the trailer, and I got to tell you, it looks incredibly touching, really hilarious as well, heartbreaking, beautiful, all that stuff. I can't wait to see this.
Who's going to watch that? Me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching it too.
100%.
Hell yeah.
As promised by Nintendo, retail pre-orders for the Switch 2 begin today. The console set is priced at $449, with the Mario Kart World bundle priced at $499. And if everything goes to plan, the actual console will be available June 5th. If you add on all the stuff that you need to really make it hum and function correctly, it's going to be closer to $700-800. I remember when Nintendo was the budget-friendly gaming console. Not so much.
Yeah.
I got a lot of buddies who are excited about this.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks really good.
All I know is this. I've never come close to beating my daughter at Mario Kart.
No?
She's undefeated in life.
right.
The child is like a prodigy.
Go Marley.
I hold the title in our household, and I will not ever give it up. At least not willingly.
Do not invite my daughter over.
Bring it.
Sports! The Minnesota Wild have
I
a
like
playoff
that.
game tonight in St. Paul. Go figure. The Golden Knights come in. It is game 3. We will be discussing that very game with Kevin Gorg later this hour. That is a big night. You've already taken home ice away from Vegas. Now get up tonight with a win. And, you can never take your foot off the gas. But, boy, it would be nice to get a little wind in the sails going up 2-1.
1,000%. I've decided the FOMO has got me. I'm going to go.
What?
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
Going.
I appreciate you doing that for the team. While you're, if you're not at the Wild game, you may be flipping channels because tonight another big thing's happening. Oh, this is how ridiculous I am. I literally got goosebumps when you hit that button. Like, yeah, it's the NFL draft. After $300 million of contracts paid out to veteran players during the Vikings free agency frenzy, this will be a pretty quiet draft on the back end, but that's okay. It's good when you go into a draft thinking, okay, we're going to be kind of quiet. We don't in big letters, need anything. That said, look for Malachi Starks. He has a lot of people targeting him. He'll still be around at 24 because he's a safety, and safeties don't usually bounce too close to the top of the list. But he's a really good player, and he's the kind of guy Brian Flores sees and says, yeah, he's gonna come in and fit nicely. But who knows? They may trade down. They may look for more. But it'll be fun. We'll all watch it, and we'll all make fun of Green Bay.
Here's
and
the
people
thing.
who are in Green Bay for tonight.
Absolutely. And here's the thing about a quiet draft like this with those 4 picks could end up being something, the players that set the table for
Huge.
you. I mean, that could be with every draft, but I'm saying in one like this where you can be a little more, particular about what you're grabbing.
The NFL, the league where you can do so much good in one draft, way more than any other sport. Finally, the Twins got another win against the White Sox because that's what you do when you play the White Sox.
Hopefully.
Byron Buxton 2 nights ago saved a game with a diving catch to end the game. Last night, he knocked a ball well over left center in the 7th inning to put the Twins ahead. They stayed there. Another win. Byron Buxton on a bit of a tear. The X tonight is going to be rocking as the
lit.
Golden Knights come in for Game 3.
Yeah.
Their first-round playoff series. And let's talk hockey with a hockey man. Kevin Gorg is joining us on Gorman in the Morning. Kevin, good morning, brother.
Good morning, guys. Great to be with you. Yeah, it should be a really, really fun atmosphere tonight in St. Paul. And playoff hockey is special, so really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we certainly are. First things first, Kevin, before anything else, first concert you ever saw, what was it? First rock concert. Didn't expect that one.
You there?
No?
We've stumped him. Are you with us, Kevin?
I'm here now. I lost you for a sec.
Okay, the first question I had to get out of the way. First rock concert you ever saw, what was it?
Oh, great question. In fact, I'm driving through Bloomington right now, the site of the old Met Center where the North Stars played. 1982, Bryan Adams warmed up for my very favorite band all time, Journey. Steve Perry on lead vocals. It was a unbelievably cool concert, and I'll never forget it.
I bet that's true. I know one thing about seeing Journey in 1982. Every girl in your high school was there, too.
Half the reason I was there.
I was going to say, the dudes came around to Journey once the girls found Journey. That was we are the same thing, same high school years. All right, so as you said when you first jumped on, nothing better than playoff hockey. A huge win in Game 2 to come back and steal home ice from Vegas. And without getting too hyperbolic, in the grand scheme of things, how important is it to hold home serve tonight for the Minnesota Wild?
Well, just to get a win early in the series, too. When you're an underdog like the Wild certainly are in this series, you're playing a Vegas team that a couple years ago won the Stanley Cup. I think 13 players on this roster were on that Cup-winning team. So I think aside from the good vibes of taking home ice away, getting a win early to send the message this isn't going to be an easy series for a team like the Golden Knights. I think it was important for Minnesota. They've done it the hard way. They've done it with physical play. Marcus Foligno kind of leading the charge with 23 hits in the first 2 games. And yes, the Wild haven't been great at home this year, but if you look at in their history, home ice has been a big deal. And the crowds in St. Paul have made an impact on these type of games. And come playoff time, it is different. And you're going to have those white towels, floating around that rink. You're going to have the fans for an 8 o'clock start tonight kind of juiced up, stopping at their favorite place for a libation or two on the way. It's going to be awesome, and I think Minnesota can feed off that crowd tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, Kevin Gorg, Paul Fletcher. Also, we need to address you as correct state champion 1985 Burnsville goaltender Kevin Gorg, right?
Wow.
40 years, man. It's depressing. It's great, but the fact that it's 40 years ago makes me a little sad.
Well, how are the knees? How are the knees right now, 40 years later?
Well, they're touch and go, Fletch. Today there's a little rain in the forecast. Whenever you get that type of situation early in the morning, I get the dogs out for the walk. You remember the days when, I was a typical goalie in the 1980s. I was an up-down butterfly type of guy, put a lot of wear and tear on those knees. So I have good days and bad, just like anybody else approaching the age of 60.
I'll tell you what, it might be 40 years ago, but I don't even get to say I'm a state champion, so there's that. Hey, secondary scoring in the playoffs is always important, my man. It doesn't really seem like one team or the other is carrying that torch just yet, though. Do you think, assuming these goaltenders don't falter, do you think that ultimately decides the series?
I think in the end, yes, because both these teams are going to spend so much time trying to slow down the opposition's best. And I think I would give the Wild that edge early in the series because Jack Eichel's line has been kept quiet. I don't think that can continue if this series progresses to 6 or 7 games, which I think it will. And obviously the Wild's top line, anchored by Kaprizov, has been brilliant. But when you get into series like this that are long series, and there's likely going to be some overtime hockey at some point, look for the players that are maybe a little bit under the radar. Freddie Gaudreau, Ryan Hartman has stepped up for Minnesota. And so these are the type of players that can really swing the pendulum in a series that looks very evenly matched. If you look at the analytics after 2 games, these games are really decided by 1 or 2 big plays within the game. And I give Minnesota the edge because game 1 was kind of a coin flip game that Vegas took advantage of a couple of, I thought, generous calls from the officials. And I thought game 2, Minnesota got to the lead and then kind of laid back. So even though the shots on goal might tell a different story, when you're up 4-0 in the middle of the second period, human nature is you're going to sit back a little bit, and Vegas did come with a nice push, which, again, is expected. They're never a team that goes away easy.
Absolutely. The other thing I noticed is the refs are letting them play, man. However, it can't get out of hand. Eriksson Ek took a slew foot. Krill got flat out punched by Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. That'd be cool if Nick Cage was playing for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Nicholas Hague smacked him in the face a couple times. It's a playoffs, though. Do you see retaliation coming, or do you see Marcus Foligno being kept into the cage?
I know Wild fans want to see somebody go out there and run that number 14 through the wall, and I get that type of emotion. Kirill's fine. And I think if you know and have watched Kirill Kaprizov in his time with Minnesota, all that did is seem to fire him up a little bit more. And I thought it was pretty appropriate that a minute or 2 later, he was the guy sending the puck into the open net to put the icing on the cake. Here's the deal. The more that these games are played 5-on-5, the better for the Minnesota Wild.
Agreed.
And I think playoff hockey tends to be that way anyway, but I agree with you, Fletch. These officials have really let these 2 teams play, and if I'm John Hines in Minnesota, I say thank you very much. Even if they miss a couple of calls, I know Hartman took a cross-check to the chops in game 1. There were a couple of other controversial calls. If these games are played 5-on-5, that gives Minnesota the edge. Vegas had the number 2 power play in the NHL this year. They're incredibly good 5-on-4, and we know the Wild's penalty kill was better in the second half of the season, but we also know that it was in the bottom 5 in the league most of the season.
Right.
So 5-on-5, the Wild are a really good hockey team. If they continue to swallow the whistle, that gives Minnesota, in my eyes, the edge.
Kevin Gorg, a ringside reporter for FanDuel Sports Network, with us on Gorman in the Morning. All right, we got to wrap it up. I'm just going to put you right on the spot. Give me a call for tonight's game. What's your pick?
I think it's going to be overtime. I think it's going to be a 1-goal game. I think Minnesota's going to win a 4-3 hockey game. And I got to tell you, if Kirill Kaprizov is all the way back, and it sure looked like that a couple nights ago, that's a problem for Vegas. Because as much as I like Jack Eichel and Mark Stone as hockey players, they're incredible. 97 was the best player on the ice in Game 2. And if he's going to be the best player on the ice tonight in Game 3, Minnesota has the edge.
I love it.
Yeah,
they call him the Arnel Pineda of NHL coverage, Kevin Gorg. Great to have you on the show, brother. We'll check in with you soon enough after we see how this series is shaking out. Thanks for calling in.
Great to be on with you guys. Enjoy the show. Have fun.
Right
You're
on.
the best,
See ya.
You're the best ever, man.
I tell you what, when he went straight to, I think it's going to be overtime, I got goosebumps. I was like, oh my God, I can't. I will be watching, and I'm like, oh, if it's like, if I get into the third, I'm not going to sleep. And then if it's an OT, I'm just up for the duration.
Yeah.
I've been, come on, man. That's just too much.
Hey, Ryder, you might want to get your Z's because you might be carrying 2 of us tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought, because I have to leave the house to watch a Wild game, and that's not happening tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Highlights
Fair enough.
in the morning for me.
I always love stories with the NFL draft tonight. I love stories about free agency and guys getting signed, and they work hard. That rookie deal ends up, and then you get the big extension.
Yeah.
And the question is always to younger athletes, 24, 25, you got some experience. What are you going to spend that money on now that you're rich? The NFL draft is tonight. Philadelphia Eagles center Cam Jurgens, he's not worried about the draft. It happened a while back. What he's worried about is the new extension he just got. $68 million contract extension, which is, I don't care who you are. It's a nice chunk of change.
That's fair. He's not going to be worried about the draft. He's also not going to be worried about paying the electric bill.
4-year extension, $68 million, big man right there in the middle. And after the deal was announced, first time he got in front of a microphone, he was asked, hey, what do you think you're going to do with that $68 million?
Lamborghini.
I feel like I fly a lot, so I might look into this thing called like TSA pre-check. I feel like that sounds like it's a good idea. I'm kind of tired of waiting in lines. I think I could afford that, so I don't know. I think I'm going to look into TSA pre-check next and see if I can get that done.
My man.
All right.
Keeping it real. 100%.
So I did check up on the TSA pre-check thing, and there's different services, so he's got to get 3 of them to cover the country, but each one is about $77.95 a pop.
Wait, what do you mean you got to get 3 of them to cover the country?
Like we have Clear here, but then there's some other ones in other airports.
Got
so
it.
I think if he wants to be going coast to coast with this thing, he's looking at... He can do the whole thing for less than $300. Come on, man. Get a little more creative.
I like the down-home, grounded nature of that being the first thought he has. It's not
That's what I mean.
Ferrari Testarossa. It's TSA pre-check.
You know what? You know who doesn't have TSA pre-check? This guy. Because I've been denied 2 different times.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I have Clear.
You're a flight risk.
Clear doesn't care. They're just like, you got the same eyes you had before? Go on, kid. Get ahead.
Yeah.
I applied for TSA pre-check in 2018 when I was applying for TSA and global entry, the whole thing, because we were taking a trip. And it's a whole new thing you have to fill out, right? And the old, just, okay, I'll go. Mm-hmm. And it says, have you ever been arrested?
Well,
But I have this weird thing where I was technically arrested, but then it was taken off. Long story short, there was a big bag of weed, and 6 different people said it was ours as opposed to hers, so that she wouldn't get a felony charge. We all shared a misdemeanor charge.
I am Spartacus.
That's exactly what. Thank you.
Yeah.
We were all Spartacus one day in Van Horn, Texas in 2005. So we went in front of a judge for possession, and the judge went, I don't care. I get my mom weed. She's got glaucoma. Get out of my courtroom. And she said, this will be on your record as if it were a traffic ticket. And so all these years later, I'm like, well, it is still technically on my record because I've come back into the country, shown them my passport, and they've like, did you ever get arrested? And I was like, no, not really. But it's clearly in there somewhere. But other than that, never been arrested, never even a hint of that. So I put on the thing, yes, and they said, what's the case? What is it? And I explained very clearly what happened. And then I was denied. Just like, you're done. Forget it. And I thought, okay, maybe that's just this administration. This is 2018. I applied again with the next administration and say 2021 or 22. Denied again.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, it's not the administration. It's just you put in the word marijuana, and they're like, nah, you're not getting that. So I can still come and go as I want, but I can't get global entry, and I can't get TSA pre-check.
Bummer.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? There's things you don't say on a plane. You don't say bomb, and you don't say marijuana, apparently. My God.
I just can't, now I'm all pissed off again. I hadn't thought about this in years. Thanks,
Sorry
Cam
to make you
Jurgens.
salty. Yeah.
I can't believe that, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it was, we're smoking cigarettes on planes. But if you say the word marijuana, you can't get pre-check.
Well,
it's insane, dude.
I typed the word marijuana. That was the problem.
Whichever.
It was an application.
Just say it. That's what I'm saying. It's same thing.
Headlines
Ridiculous.
coming up. We're feeling Minnesota.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
It is Thursday. It is April 24th, and we're feeling Minnesota. Paul Fletcher, what's going on?
I'll tell you what, you need to tune up the invisible axe and stretch out your windmilling arm because the Minneapolis Regional Air Guitar Championships are back.
Sweet.
Route 47 Pub and Grub in Fridley, May 17th. I have to imagine it's free to get in. I don't know, but I'm assuming. Quote, air guitar is friggin' ridiculous, nerdy, silly, and all of the above. This is from Hall of Fame air guitarist, The Lost Heartbreaker. First of all, the name, also the Hall of Fame. It's so great. He said, quote, there's a beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. We need those moments in this crazy adventure of life.
I found my skill set really applied itself more appropriately to air base, but that was just me.
That seems a little lazy, man.
I went with the Bill Wyman, John Entwistle approach. Nothing moved but my fingers.
You just wanted to be in the background.
Pretty
doing
much.
your thing. Yeah, I understand. The Food and Drug Administration is halting its quality control program for milk and dairy products. Don't worry, it's not quite as drastic as it sounds. The FDA says the Food Emergency Response Network Proficiency Testing Program, yeah, it's a lot, will eventually continue in another lab, but in the meantime, the agency will work with the states to protect the milk supply. So it's not the end of the world, but sure would like to have the FDA have their mitts in on this, I would think.
As long as it's not like the old days where they put chalk in milk so that it looked normal, even though it wasn't. I think,
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Weezer has said they're making a new mockumentary-style movie about their band, and a solid cast is coming together quickly.
Okay.
Rivers Cuomo has confirmed Jack Black will star. Apparently, Keanu Reeves is going to be in it as the film's villain. Juliette Lewis, Johnny Knoxville, the members of the band, of course, and more.
I'm just saying, it's tough to get financing for films these days, from what I read.
Sure.
Who's back in the Weezer film? That's fantastic.
Oh,
Could
man.
be.
Elder millennials are going to go crazy for this. We are on this huge nostalgia kick. So, yeah, bring on the Weezer.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, though? There are probably buddies. They're probably getting a buddy deal from Jack Black. That's my guess. A24 has officially announced an Anthony Bourdain biopic. It's going to be simply titled Tony. Holdovers breakout star Dominic Sessa. I haven't seen The Holdovers yet, but I've heard it's fantastic. He's going to play the late, great chef turned into food journalism TV star. Matt Johnson, who did an awesome job with the Blackberry flick, will be directing. There's no release date yet. Not a ton of detail, but just something exciting to look forward to for sure.
Fair enough. This just came across my purview. HBO, a new series centered on Jim Jones and the People's Temple, the story where the church from San Francisco, they moved down to...
Haven't they done one already?
This is a new one being developed by directed by and starring...
Is it Bill Hader?
Bill Hader.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Holy smokes.
I did see that.
Top 10 greatest, funniest cast member in SNL all time, in my opinion. And, man, when he turns to drama, he's even better.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to watch the living daylights out of that.
Yeah.
Here's some sports headlines for you real quick. Oh, the Minnesota Wild, they're playing Game 3 in their first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight at home against the Vegas Golden Knights. In case you're thinking, what should I do? Should I watch the game, or maybe I'll just watch the draft and see what the Vikings do? A text in from Jeff from Circle Pines. I have purple blood running through my veins. I also have green blood running through my veins. Going back to the North Stars, common sense says you don't miss a minute of that Wild game.
Correct.
You just DVR the draft and watch it later. It's not football season. Kevin O'Connell will get a good guy. This is not the time to worry about the Vikings. Go Wild, brother.
Yes.
Right on.
Could not agree more. He has got his scruples very much in line. Set up correctly.
So Game 3 tonight. We talked with Kevin Gorg a little earlier. He predicted an overtime victory for the Wild. Oh, the roof will blow off the joint if that happens. And as to Jeff's point, the NFL draft is tonight. The Vikings... For the 22nd year in a row, the Vikings will not miss their pick. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Remember 2003? They screwed up. They had the 7th pick, and they didn't get it in time.
Did they do it twice in one draft?
Yeah,
Did they do it back-to-back years?
It happened. I think it happened twice that same night.
Unbelievable.
They didn't get the pick in time, and I just remember Chris Berman had his face in his hands going,
Right?
what in the hell is
I think
happening?
it was twice in one night.
Right now, the Vikings are sitting on the 24th pick in the first round. Nothing until late in the third. After that, we'll see what happens. It's good to not be too nervous about these very things. The Twins got another win. Thank God for the Chicago White Sox. As always, they're here for one reason, and that is for us to get a win every now and again.
Yeah, and a reminder, Sam Ekstrom in for Ask Me Anything Friday. Anything you want to know about the draft, he is good to go. We'll talk to him about 8:30.
Thank you for that, Ryder.
Yeah.
Victoria, we're thinking of you.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
Glad
lake.
to have you with us.
Birthplace
Really nice
of
lake.
Detroit Lions center, Frank Ragnow.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Man.
Love you, Victoria.
What do the Lions need for their draft, Ryder?
I'm so freaked out. I don't even want to talk about it. We're just going to trust in Brad Holmes, and that's it. Like, I can't even start. I'm getting upset right now, man.
What do they need, though? What do they need, though?
Don't
fight through your feelings.
Don't trade. We don't need another wideout. Just keep the ones I'm real excited about. I just can't. Just stop it.
You're not kidding. I've never seen that woman fumble her words more in my life.
Ready to
starting to sound like me.
Across the room.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.